Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and today we delve back to when fossil fuels ruled the earth, in a time where vehicle designers sat around tables dipping Yorkie bars into their mud-laced coffee. A time where electric and hybrid were not the go-to words for such individuals, and there was no fear that if you mentioned the words gas guzzler, you'd be sent to HR for a therapy session. So before we firmly seat ourselves on Santa's naughty list, let's roll the intro and get cracking. In the carefree, hazardous and ancient times, commonly known as the 90s, Royal Enfield India produced a Greaves Lombardini 325cc, 6.5 horsepower, 11 pounds-foot of torque engine, which happened to be a diesel, and mounted it in a Royal Enfield bullet frame. This motorcycle became known as the Taurus and was sold in India. Here in the UK, Ernie Dorset experimented with converting matchless motorcycles to diesel using the Japanese Robin engine. Then, in conjunction with the UK importer Redbreast, put that engine in a Royal Enfield Bullet. This was known as the Enfield Robin DR400D, using a 412cc engine with 8.5 horsepower. They were not the most popular of bike, and as you can imagine, did not take off. But there is still a company out there today that does such a conversion, and they will put a diesel engine in your Royal Enfield Bullet 500. And today we have such a bike. Now before we continue, I have no idea why I thought that was a good idea to come through an opening gate. It was just different. Go with it. This bike has a 406cc single-cylinder direct injection engine producing a G-force inducing 10 horsepower. This one has an electric start, and despite that has enough patina to persuade anyone it was from the 1920s. It has 19-inch wheels front and rear, and drum brakes front and rear, and a 4-speed gearbox, like with a lot of Enfields being on the wrong side, or a lot of old Enfields anyway. When I say old, 2005, that's old for an Enfield. The gears are 1 up, 3 down, and they're on the wrong side, or the right side if you're oldie British. What makes it old is not just this wiring, but look at that tank. That badge is phenomenal, and what is also impressive is that you should get about 300 miles from that 16-litre tank. So what is this price of conversion? Well, Price Part Motorcycles are offering it for a mere £4,550, although there is a 456 13 horsepower version available as well. This certainly doesn't look like a 2005 bike until you look at the battery stuck on the side, and then it reminds you it's actually quite modern. Please silence and not for me. So then let's show you the starting procedure and take it for a walk. Well, the procedure is actually quite simple, certainly a lot easier than that Enfield with the sidecar we had a couple of weeks ago. You simply turn on the ignition, make sure the fuel is on as it is. This is the decompression lever, push it down, press the start button and then let go. That's it! It does take a while to warm up, so come back in a minute. Well, on that tiny initial ride, before we go out on the road, of course, I can report that the brakes will stop you in a different postcode. The Sorry, it is quirky. I do like to ride quirky stuff. It's fun and entertaining, and sent to try us. But yeah, it's definitely a quirky bike, and I can't wait to get it out on the road. Right, so here we go, out on the Enfield diesel. Now initially I am going to have to keep up the revs because it ticks over terribly. So I've got to try and keep the revs up, just like the other Royal Enfield. First, second, we're up to 20. Third, 30 miles an hour. Fourth, 40. It's a bit wobbly. Oh, down into third. Brakes are pretty useless. Into first. I have to say, it's nicer to ride than the one with the sidecar, apart from the clatter. Fourth is like overdrive. Fourth gear at 40 miles an hour. I think it wants to be in third. Put my visor down. Well, I've got to try and keep it ticking over now. So again, right hand side gear. So obviously coming up one. Coming up. Use the left foot brake only. Changes gear nicer than the one with the sidecar. You can use that little foot brake. Look. No, this bus is going to squeeze me out. What a dickhead. Thanks, bus. Unbelievable. So at least I get up to 40. And that bus isn't doing 40. So, what do I think? It's actually comfortable. The seat's really comfortable. It's contoured nicely to your bum. It's rattly and it's bumpy. And it is just like riding on a very old motorcycle. It gives you that impression that it's old. This mirror is... oh, it does move. I don't want to do it too much. It might break. I can see myself now. Well, at least I can see out the right hand mirror, so that's all I need. Amps, lots of them. Very nice indeed. Yes, well done. There's nothing else to say. The dash is minimalist. You completely forget that this is a 2005 bike. Completely forget, because it doesn't feel like one at all. It feels a lot older. Don't forget the braking. Oh, up in the gears. I think I'm in first. No gear indicator, of course. It is very knocky. It sounds very diesely. Yeah, we're definitely in first. Here we go. It's very simple to ride. I do have to feather the throttle, so I don't trust it's going to stay running. And I don't know if I've got enough power to pull out. I'm just going to have to chance it in a minute. I'm going to start accelerating whilst the car is alongside me and hope that it gets out in time. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry. Come on. Whatever. You don't know what you're doing, do you, mate? Well, it corners all right. Getting lots of looks from the older generation, more so than anybody else. Anyone else just thinks it's a rattly old piece of crap that's broken. I don't care. It's comfortable, as I say. The seat is very nice. The seating position is nice. As a ride out, I could see me able to do quite a few miles on this and enjoy every single mile. It's not painful in any way. I don't not like it. I mean, I am going to open it up and see what it does, so let's really open it up. 41, 42. Yep, that's all right, you lot. I think it'll sit at 50 quite happily, and that's all you need. 50 miles an hour, not a problem. You wouldn't want to do much more than that, but it does feel comfortable at it. It doesn't feel dangerous. Like I say, yes, it bounces around, but what old Enfield, I say old, what Enfield doesn't, apart from the newer, like, last 5-year Enfields. But it really is quirky. It's so much more enjoyable than that sidecar arrangement. I could see myself owning one of these. I honestly got on this thinking it was going to be as horrible as that sidecar. It was, I mean, yes, that was fun and quirky, but it was a bit, couldn't see me wanting to do that many miles on it. But this, I could go for miles and miles and miles. Okay, the brakes are pointless. You know, the rear brake is better than the front brake. They are both drums. It feels like it's working really hard. That's what it sounds like. A tugboat. Like an old tugboat. Right, down the gears. Wrong way. Yeah, that front brake is rubbish. And it really makes the front end dive. Rear brake is so much better. In the first. Yes. So, would you want one? What do you think of it? Is this something that's a waste of money? Is it something that's cool? Is it something that's quirky? Is it something that you would definitely want yourself? Or is it something you just think, yeah, great idea, but pointless? Right, up the gears. Up the gears. Gear change is actually pretty good. The turn-in is fine. These tyres are doing what they're supposed to do. Holding the road quite well. Don't do it. Don't do it, you stupid woman. Unbelievable. Well, I have to say, that is a fantastically ridiculous, pointless ride. It's hard work. but it's fun. I do have to mention that the turning circle is fantastic, and I love this badge. It's so oldie-woldy. Look at that, that's amazing. It's quirky, it smells of diesel, like an old locomotive mixed with dirt. But other than that, you don't really want to use it on a daily basis. You do get used to the gear change. I mean, obviously this is now the third Enfield, and 2 of them have had the gears this way around, so it's not really a massive problem, but it is quite hard work. Mostly coming up to junctions where you've got to feather the accelerator, brake with this one and brake with that one to actually stop and change gear at the same time, while literally lifting it through the gears. But there you go. It's yeah, entertaining, like a lot of the bikes that we're riding these days are. However, please stay tuned for next video, because we've got the R6 again coming up this week, but next week we've got the new Sinis Terrain liquid cooled 125, so stay tuned for that. And we've got some more bikes coming from Sinis and MASH and all sorts, so stay tuned for those as well. So that brings us to the end of this episode of Motos for the Masses. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want one of these, I wouldn't bother. It's fun, but it's a lot of money. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye-bye.